name is Blake, and here on Blake Billman Masks, we usually talk about a lot of my favorite masks, usually between wrestling and horror, Slipknot, different music bands. And today we have a pretty unique unboxing. We have a wrestling mask unboxing, and why I say this is a unique piece is, one, we don't usually cover this particular wrestler very often because, one, he doesn't wear a mask, even though as much as I love his gimmick and I love his entire getup and I love his YouTube channel, but he doesn't wear a mask. He paints his face up. So that's one reason why Danhausen has not been brought up before on this channel. But that being said, Danhausen is actually one of my favorite modern day wrestlers. I think his very good, very evil gimmick that he does is, I think, honestly ingenious. Pretending to have superpowers and curse people and all this. I think it is a breath of fresh air, and especially in an age of wrestling where a lot of modern gimmicks are very realistic, they're toned down, and nowhere near, like, you don't have your Kanes or your Undertakers, you know, you don't have your Stings anymore, you don't have those type of characters. And I think that is something that wrestling is definitely missing, especially in the modern age. You don't really have that type of monster character, that evil character to maybe sometimes get behind or root against. And honestly, in my opinion, I think Danhausen is kind of the best of both worlds. He kind of pretends to be good and pretends to be evil, and it kind of all works out, you know, at least for me. It's why it makes me a huge fan, and it makes me think of a lot of the older days of when I was growing up. You know, you'd have you had the Boogeyman character, which was, I think, a really awesome character. It's just too bad the guy wasn't worth, you know, wasn't worth the spit that was swapped to create him inside the wrestling ring, as much as awesome as that gimmick was and got wasted. But as we're getting a little sidetracked here, like I said, another reason why this is a special unboxing is that this is something that I wanted to get back when it popped up on the AEW store back in the day. And I just didn't pull the trigger on it. They went out really quickly. They actually sold out really quickly. And that's one of the things that makes me kind of surprised, and I forgot to bring this up a while ago because I got sidetracked. But I've been surprised that AEW has signed Danhausen and done almost nothing with the character at all. He's basically hardly even been on TV since they signed him. And actually, I know when I bought this, he was still signed with AEW, but I'm not sure now. This has been sitting around for a little bit. I just haven't gotten around to doing an unboxing, and I want to apologize for lack of content. I know I was going to start being consistent. But I started doing a lot of 12-hour days, and you know, I don't get paid for these videos. I just do this as a hobby. It would be nice to get paid off these videos. That's why you guys should, if you like what you see, like and subscribe and all that, and share and tell all your friends and your mother, your father, whoever. I don't care. Just tell somebody about it. It makes it really hard when you go in at, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning to work a 12-hour day. And when you get home, you really don't feel like sitting down and doing more work. And yes, this is work. This does take time to put together. It takes time to edit, upload, and all that. Do the thumbnail, all that. It is a lot of extra work. And it's hard to justify me leaving a 12-hour shift to come home and do more work. But maybe that's just me. But like I said, let's go ahead and get on into this before I get even more sidetracked and start talking about stuff that, once again, does not pertain to this video or even really matter. But go ahead and we'll try and get this box open for you guys, and you know, we'll see what this AEW official Danhausen replica looks like in person. Now, I do have to say this mask is signed, if I remember right. It's been a little bit since I ordered it. I'm not big on signed stuff, and, you know, at least for like masks and stuff like that. A lot of my Kentucky Wildcat memorabilia is signed. I like that. But a lot of times, like, I see the masks as art pieces, which is why they usually don't get worn unless I have the intention of buying something for it to get worn. But we went ahead and got this out of the package here. Thank you. I bought this off a fellow collector. Thank you for wrapping it up. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Hopefully he's a viewer of the channel. If he is, you can go ahead and drop a comment and let you know who you are. But I'm going to, like I said, we're going to give you guys the first look at this first. shot of this. Like I said, it's signed. I can see the signature kind of on the back of it, through the back of it on the forehead, which I'm not that stoked on. But I'm going to take a peek for myself. And ooh, that's actually really nice. Like I said, I've seen the photos of it. I'm actually really impressed with this, especially for an AEW officially licensed replica. This is actually a really nice piece. Like I said, I'm not stoked about the signature on it, but like I said, that's a really good looking piece. I really like the paint job on this personally. I know around the eyes and so much ain't so, what's the word I'm looking for, accurate. Sometimes I forget how to talk. But like I said, outside of that, I actually really like the paint job overall. I think this is a really good finish on this piece. I don't know if these are even still available or not. I think this was just a limited run thing. But if you guys see these things pop up for a good price, I'd pull the trigger on it. I'm a definitely happy customer. I don't know why I can't talk today. I think I ended up getting this thing for, I think it was 60 shipped altogether, which I don't think is too bad at all. Something that I think is out of print and signed, so it was like, I think 40 bucks, but like 20 bucks to ship or something like that. I'll take that all day long. I think that's a pretty good price for something that's going to sit around, on a head and just be displayed in a collection. But like I said, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Like I said, I'll go ahead and give you guys some up close shots. Remember to stay like Danhausen. Very good, very evil. Now go ahead and I'll catch you guys in the next one.